State legislatures like Tennessee and Texas are trying to pass universal school vouchers. Long story short, it's a scam. Universal school vouchers are essentially a dollar amount handed out to families to go towards funding their kids' attendance at non-public schools. The Republicans pitched the idea of school vouchers as school choice under the guise that it makes private schools and non-public schools more affordable and accessible. However, in reality, that's not exactly the case. So here are my three biggest issues with school vouchers. First, the dollar amount proposed in many of these bills likely will not cover the full cost of attendance at a private school. So while school vouchers can go towards things such as tuition and other related expenses like uniforms, required technology, required books, it likely will not be able to cover the total cost of attendance. And in addition to that, there are other costs that need to be considered, such as, does this non-public school have a bus system? Does that cost money? If not, can a family afford to travel further, time and money? These are other costs that need to be considered when determining the total cost of attendance of a private school. Second, in Arizona, which has a universal school voucher program, a majority of the families that utilize it already weren't attending public schools. So in reality, school vouchers are just a fancy way of saying handouts for the wealthy. And that leads me to my third point. Universal school voucher programs are not fiscally responsible. Public funds should stay in public schools. If we have this surplus of money that Republicans claim to say we have for this very expensive program, why don't we go ahead and invest that into our public schools and make them even better? Every child, regardless of their income, deserves access to a quality education. And a school voucher is not the great equalizer that Republican lawmakers want you to think it is. Because even with school vouchers, private schools are not an option for many American families. But what is a great equalizer is quality public education. So let's spend our money investing in our public schools and in those classrooms. Beyond that, longer term, there are concerns that this may ultimately result in a loss of funding for public schools. So from an economic standpoint, maybe the school voucher program isn't the move. So while Republicans are the ones introducing this bill, it is important to note that there is disagreement within their own party. In other words, there are Republicans that have come out and spoken out against the school voucher program. And that's because it's a bad bill. And you know what? They recognize it for what it is. A scam. So your call to action today is, one, to see if there's ongoing legislation in your state legislature about school vouchers. And second, if there is, call your lawmakers. In Tennessee and Texas, the margins are going to be very narrow. In other words, it's only going to be a handful of votes that determine if the voucher bill will pass or fail. So your voice matters, and make your opinion known to your lawmakers sooner rather than later. Our public funds should stay in our public schools.